Then move on with this news that came out of nowhere. And it literally was one day they have a meet, from what I can gather, they have a meeting and it said they tell the students and the staff that you have, first I heard it was until August. And then it's the end of June, and now it's tomorrow. If you want some try and be morally right or whatever, and I'm not saying that morally right stuff that King was talking about. Right. That's different. I'm not talking about that, because ain't no way you putting women and the kids in front of water hoses and police dogs, and they don't give a damn. Excuse me. I'm a teacher, and if I'm not teaching your children, people have a right to come and say, "Hey, look, man, you're not doing what I need you to do for my child." But you have to be involved too, right? So you can't tell me as a parent that you're involved, that you're not doing my child right. I need y'all to correlate this to what's going on around here as well. You can't tell me I'm not doing your child right if you're not involved in the child's life on all levels. The issue that it is now is blatant in everybody's face. Yeah. It's blatant in everybody's face. So we're not sitting there talking about what can we do for residents. We don't care nothing about the residents.
Never about the residents.
It's never about the residents. And the issue that people are having that I see, and they still won't let me come down to the council. When I'm out of school, I'm just going to go. We out of school in a couple weeks. I'm just going to come to one. I don't care.
And you live.
Good morning, family. How y'all doing? All right. We're glad you're here. We appreciate y'all getting up and hanging out with us. Your morning cup of bros. First thing in the morning on Sunday, as cool as it is outside, but we're getting ready to heat it up. So, I mean, I got to take my hat off, because that's how hot it's getting ready to get. And excuse the fact that I haven't, Uncle Mick won't tell me who his barber is, so I got to do my thing my way.
You know who, you know what?
The only thing is that I got to be careful around him. That's the reason why he ain't told me.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to start off with something that's going to make some people upset, and I really don't care.
Good morning, beautiful people that tapped in.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me say this. My brother's in the hospital. You know, it's minor. I'm glad he'll be getting out soon. But I'm overhearing a conversation with some people who work there. And one of the young ladies was talking about and bragging about how much money she's going to spend on her child for Christmas. $1,500 shoes, new PlayStation 5, which is about $700, you know, and then a number of things, right? Now, I'm not against because this is what this country runs off of, is the consumerism that, we jump into talking about we doing this. But my thing, and what immediately came to my mind, I really want to go back and jump in the conversation, is what is this? You're working here at the hospital. You're not a doctor. You're not a nurse. I'm not knocking them, because I work there. I'm a teacher, so, we don't make no money either. You're not a doctor. You're not a nurse. You work in general, wherever the area is. You're not an anesthesiologist, none of that, right? It's clear that you're not, because you're not, and you're not wearing the scrubs too. And I don't care nothing about where you work at. But what are you teaching? What are we teaching our children? At what point in time do they have to know that they have to earn things? I don't have an issue with you giving stuff to them when they've earned it by doing their job, whether they're doing a job at school or whether they're doing a job at home. But you teaching this false sense of, I'm supposed to have these nice things without working for them. So as we look on and we watch social media, and hopefully we're watching it for entertainment, I'm very clear that those that are here that join us for these discussions, you're looking at things differently than everybody else, because everybody else wants to emulate the foolishness on social media. Instead of looking at it and saying, that's stupid, don't nobody want to do that. That's the dumbest stuff ever, right? And I think we talked a little bit about the Housewives series. That's nothing but fake reality. And these people are wondering basketball wives and housewives of Atlanta and all of these other people who some of them may be telling the truth, but some of them aren't. And these are the shows that are put in front of our children that we have to, that they emulate, right? You want to have, like when MTV or whoever it was doing My Sweet 16 Birthday, and you have all of these black celebrities, you can't afford to do none of the stuff that they doing. I had a family member who her children purchased her a furnace for her home. And what did she say? Y'all ain't gonna have no Christmas, but we got heat. Well, first and foremost, they grown as hell. Now, maybe the little kids, I get it. But then you know what you're gonna have? We can turn the furnace up. The house ain't 30 degrees no more. We can turn the furnace up to, because I gave them here. I got a couple heaters, use them, whatever. Her children giving her that gift for their home was the most important gift. But when I'm talking about children, I'm not saying don't raise them with standards. But if the standard is going to be material, then you have a problem, because somebody's going to break their heart later on down the line because their expectation is, I deserve a $1,500 pair of shoes and not work for it. I deserve a PlayStation 17 whenever they get whatever it is now, because I didn't work for it. So when somebody tells me no, or they act a damn fool in school, because invariably they will, because they know your child knows you're going to support their shit because you've been supporting it. I'm not saying they're not bad teachers. I'm not saying that. There are, always have been. But what I'm saying is, if I'm listening to this conversation and nothing in there that I hear, this person takes care of, they wash the clothes, they wash the dishes, and I'm listening. I waited to get on the elevator for about 15 minutes to see if I hear rebuttal as the reason why I'm doing these things, and I'm not hearing anything. So, and then one of the persons did ask, well, why are you doing all of that? And there was nothing given back in return to say, hey, my child's an all-A student. They on they don't have no issues in school where they get their citizenship is tight. They come home and they take care of their chores. Because what that sounds like to me is you're giving them stuff in order to get them to conform to some things, instead of teaching them how they should conform to some things in the first place, because it's intrinsic in you to do so. You should get good grades, not because I'm paying you to do it, because damn it, that's what you better do. You should keep your room clean and help keep the house up, because that's what's in it for you to do. I shouldn't have to go and call somebody to shovel the damn sidewalk, girl or boy. Now, we know typically girls we're going to send our girls out there to shovel snow. I get that. No, because we're not. I didn't. I'm not going. And I know I'm guilty of sometimes spoiling my son and my daughters. I'm guilty. But it ain't I'm going to buy you a $1,500 pair of shoes, and hell no. Not doing that. And what did you show them for me in return? Nothing. What are you doing in return? I still got to tell you to clean your room. I still got to tell you wash your clothes. If I'm doing it, I'm not buying you a damn thing. Well, that's real parenting. And I'm not saying I'm not guilty of spoiling. And I'm not saying people shouldn't raise their children to have a certain level of standards. But I'm not saying, oh, yeah, well, it's because I didn't have it in my life, then I'm going to make sure my kids have, fuck that. Because sometimes somebody's going to tell that child no. At some point in time, or you might have somebody out there to be so scandalous. If you got a young man or young woman out there and you find they crossed another, oh, you think you like that? Someone knock you down a peg and do it on purpose. Because you've raised their child to be like a level of so-called boujiness that they can't afford, and they want to impose that on somebody else. And when they can't afford it, oh, you just broke. No. I'm not spending my money on you on some dumb shit because you're not giving me anything in return other than something that I can get from somebody else. So we wonder the reason why we have all of these insane, not only relationships, but expectations. How in the world, and like I said, I'm listening for a rebuttal about, yo, you said she already know it. I'm listening for a rebuttal to say, my child does this, my child does that. So therefore I'm awarding them and rewarding them for the work that they do outside here, because I'm here at least 12 hours a day. So what the hell are they doing all the time or any other time? Stop raising we cannot continue to raise our children on fantasies. This is what you deserve because you pretty. Don't nobody there's a million women, young women and men out there in the world, if we talking about being pretty, that are prettier than your child. Trust and believe, that child's pretty only in your eyes. No, okay. So once again, $1,500 pair of shoes only cost somebody $25, $26 to make. You walking around here wearing what's the red, black, and green? What's the name? And the belt, Gucci.
Gucci, yeah, Gucci.
Not even understanding he using the colors that the Honorable Marcus Garvey gave us to be a unified people. Okay, that's fine. Go get in the shower. Enjoy yourself. And once again, if you listen to what I said at the very beginning, common sense, and you're welcome to your opinion, this is what I overheard in a conversation. And I didn't hear a response to what everybody else was saying, but that's okay. We love you. We'll see you next time. And what I'm saying is I don't have an issue with us raising our children with standards. But the standards have to come with common sense. Those standards have to come earned, because each and every one of us that work a job, we've earned what we get. Any one of us that created a job, we had to go through bumps and bruises and not having in order to get there. I'm not saying that you don't raise your children to say that you want to have nice things in life, but you also have to work for them. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a person, this is my children are raised on this level, and that's fine. And I want you to meet a person at that level. But that other person that they may meet may say, I'm not giving it to you. Then what? We see this happen all the time. And it's not a problem to raise privileged children, but how do they earn their privilege? Again, I'm sitting there waiting for a rebuttal when the question was asked, what have they done to earn what you're giving them? And I heard none. I didn't hear they're going to school and they got all A's, they're on the honor roll, they do this, they do this, they do it. Then at home they do these things, and I'm listening. The woman gave no rebuttal. I didn't jump into the conversation. I'm just listening for it because it wasn't my conversation to be part of. But I'm listening for a rebuttal from the mother. And there was none, because one of her coworkers, she asked her, well, what is your child doing to earn that? And she never gave one. Those are not assumptions. Those are facts. I was still waiting. I was late going to visit my brother. They ended up putting me out because it was after visiting hours before I left. But I'm listening for a rebuttal. I'm listening and saying, my children do this, my child does this, my child does that. And there was none. And it was kind of sad to not hear. And it's okay because it's her money. She could do what she wants to. But it was kind of sad. Well, not really sad, but it's just kind of tough to hear. Well, my child does this, and this. I remember taking birthday and Christmas gifts back to the store when you wasn't doing what you're supposed to. And I've done it to my children. You ain't getting all you want to because you ain't doing nothing. You ain't getting that. No. When you showing me you're doing your main job as a school and then you're doing what you need to do over here at home, then I got you. But if not, what am I going to get it for you for? And you're not doing anything. And I'm guilty of spoiling my children. I am.
I think most are. You ain't the only one guilty, but I see what you're saying and to do. But is it more like it's sad how we still doing this things 50 and 60 years later, doing the same thing?
I think what is sad is that on the other part of the other side of that coin is, are you teaching your children that these are good things and I'm giving you, other people may not give them to you. So don't have the expectation that everybody else is giving it to you. And these are good things that I'm giving you because you're doing this work. So you're putting this work in. And so therefore I'm showing you that you deserve nice things. And I want you to get nice things for yourself as well and live this type of life. But expect that the other part about that is not everybody's going to give it to you. So you have to be discerning that some people are going to be okay with doing this when you show them that you deserve it. And other people going back, I'm not doing that for you. And be okay with that. And not, oh, well, you should have did this for me. And you said, just like this foolishness that we see now, right? That everybody, well, I'm a celebrity because I do certain things to certain people.
Yeah.
And so therefore that makes me a celebrity. And I can call out people for doing this. And I did this to somebody and that makes you a celebrity. It doesn't make you a celebrity.
I remember it was one young lady used to say this. It was I might not be saying idolism. Am I saying it right?
Yeah. Well, we idolize and worship things instead of.
And I think that's what it is. We get caught up in what you think was supposed to be done. Because, like I say, most people don't really press education no more.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Like I said, it came a time where I'm gonna say our grandparents couldn't read, but they made sure their kids was able to. What's up, A. Sprague? Good morning. They made sure. How do we go backwards? Like, we not caring about when you couldn't read to now you can't read.
Well, see, what has happened is entertainment and sports have become the dominant reasons we get out of our condition. Where when we couldn't play those games or we had separate. Where we had the Cotton Club and the juke joints and Golden Leaf and Baker's Keyboard Lounge. We couldn't go to these other establishments.
Like they speakeasies.
The speakeasies, right? We had our own because we wanted to have our own. And we were clear that playing baseball didn't come until the late 1800s. And there were two separate leagues, a white league and a black league. But what got us out of our condition was education. And what's happened is the propaganda from the other group has said, don't do this instead of that, right? Which is where you hear a lot of, and Malcolm said this back in the 60s, that you put a microphone in front of somebody that you're paying. Instead of somebody who has no attachment to it. And so therefore I can say what I want to because I don't have any attachment to your money.
Facts, like a Charlamagne, a Cardi B.
Yeah. Right. Because all of those people have made money based on, I didn't mean to cut you off. All those people made money based upon somebody else hiring them instead of, like in your situation, when we get donations, that's how you make it work. So you don't have an attachment to a company. Facts. So if you had an attachment to ABC, I'm not on.
Oh, fact, yeah, you can't.
This show ain't happening. Neither one of these shows ain't. This show sound like, well, today we're gonna go and we're gonna look at versus number. That's what today's show would look like.
Facts.
All right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be talking about. We're not condemning commercialism, and no, we're not doing. This is how we make our money, right. And this is how I got to talk now.
Yeah, no, right? Facts. When you get that money.
Well, good morning. Just good morning, ABC television family. That's how I got to talk now.
Facts.
Not hey, rough and ready and sandpaper and
right
and tax and Legos that you step on first thing in the morning. No, it ain't none of that.
Facts.
Okay. So, yeah. And so, therefore, to a degree, they can say certain things, but to a very larger degree, they can't. They have to be quiet because you're not going to mess your money up.
I know. And you see it. We just saw a brother mess his money up.
Yeah.
All over the news.
Oh, wait, go ahead.
I'm just saying.
Go ahead. No, we're going to get on that too.
We just saw a brother mess his money up. And what's so cold, people keep forgetting it's what, when I played that video when Rizza Islam said the honey pot. If you can't see this and see what that brother went through, and you notice, they never put her, they don't want, only, you know who put her picture out there? The podcasters, the real media. But you see what media got his face sprinkled all through it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, and I'm going to go with one of my brothers. I haven't talked to him in a few years, so hopefully when I get a chance to, I'm going to connect with him. It's not having discipline.
Facts.
It's not having discipline. You got a wife.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to have an extramarital thing, let her in on it.
But we got to be honest. You know, that stuff is just it's entwined into the American society.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that's where they kill me with this moral authority when they want to say they moral. Then you have presidents was messing around. Usually when you get
Kennedy and his brother was sleeping with Marilyn Monroe.
And when they doing cocaine. Allegedly. Yeah. But I'm just saying, didn't they have a drink? They probably had drink. See, this is this moral authority that they try to put on the masses when they know it. They the biggest freaks of it all.
They don't put it on the masses, they don't put it on black people. Okay. They only put it on black people. Because I'm clear that there are white coaches that were doing the same thing.
Facts. They was.
As long as you winning the way we winning.
Yeah, that's what the bottom line is. The brother didn't do what he was supposed to do, and that means win.
All right.
See, what people don't understand, they had put a flyer out back in November 9th. As you hear me, November 9th, right, that the job was coming open. That was before the Ohio State. Okay, really, the problems came when he lost to USC in the way he lost. He just wasn't the man for the job. He didn't get fired because he was cheap. You know how many coaches looking shook right now in the college world? Right. Knowing they probably got, look, Bobby Petrino was one. Yeah. All in the football for for Louisville, all of them done it. But what it is, if he was winning, let me tell you something. Do you know the young lady didn't even lose her job?
No.
Okay,
no.
She's still on there.
Right. Well, so did the lady at Michigan State.
That's what I'm saying. Good morning. I ain't going nowhere. See Wiz, good morning. The bottom line was he really wasn't the coach for the job. They made a mistake on hiring him.
Well, he took over. He was an assistant. You know that. You know story better than I do.
Yeah.
He was an assistant underneath Harbaugh.
Yeah.
When Harbaugh got suspended those few games, he stepped in. He looked good. They won those 5 games or whatever. Yeah, but look at the level of players that you had.
And not just that, they keep forgetting they had Jesse Mentor was the defensive coordinator. He was still there. Mike Austin was the defensive line coach.
Right.
I can't think of the brother that was the safety coach. You still had the pieces was there. The game plan was still what we do.
Right.
That's what I think. But if you took, like Harbaugh took all the coaches,
everybody.
I believe now when I'm sitting back and looking at it, I think Sharon Moore was the patsy because remember Michigan was going through that cheating scandal. Even though I didn't believe they cheated, but they was going through their scandal. They needed somebody that could navigate them through that. They didn't know if they was going to be on probation or not.
Right.
So he was going to be the bridge coach. He just didn't. He just, it's coming down to W's and L's.
Yeah, because if he'd have had another 11-win season like he had a couple years last year.
No, he only went 85 last year. Yeah. And that saved his job because he beat Ohio State.
He beat Ohio State.
Yeah, they talk about getting rid of him then.
Right. So when you lost to Ohio State and you wasn't able to bring Michigan back up to where Harbaugh left in and other people, you didn't look like what's the one? Lou, whatever his name was. I see his face. You know, there's some of the older coaches.
Lou Holtz.
No, not Notre Dame. He was at Notre Dame. I don't.
You talk about for Michigan.
Lloyd Carr.
Okay. Yeah.
He wasn't playing on that level, and once again, all those were Michigan men.
Yeah.
Like you said before. You said that before. These were Michigan men. So if you're not winning their way,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't. You got to go.
Yeah, because what people fail to realize, back in the summer they had did the investigation. Back in the
right.
summer.
So they already knew that.
And she said that she didn't do nothing.
Right.
But allegedly, what it was, because man, athletic director on his way out too. Don't get it twisted. They finna get rid of him.
Right.
He gotta go. Man, that administration, man, is some deep, they got real deep political ties up in there. They didn't like the way half liked it Harbaugh, half didn't. And the AD didn't really like Harbaugh, but he kept Sharon to try to say we're gonna keep the culture because it was some players were still there.
Right.
But they knew all this stuff about what Sharon was doing. They said that was the worst kept secret in Ann Arbor.
But here's the okay. Let me go back to this.
Go ahead. I'm gonna take this while you do that.
Yeah. If you're going to have something extra outside of what you have, whether we on the outs or whatever, or we going through a separation or whatever you want to lie and say, you got two options. Either keep that stuff low key, but you can't if you're a public figure, or get permission so that person can be a helpmate in your household. Then that way, nothing's going to come out. Nobody can turn around and say, oh, well, we didn't know. She did know. And she was okay with it. Or on the other hand, if it's a woman, then yeah, he knew I got two men and that's my husband, but I also told him I got a boyfriend and he's straight. So y'all can't get me on that scandal. Find something else.
But see, that's where it was messed up at because they see what they went with. He was her boss. No, when they was dealing with each other, he was an assistant coach. I think he was the officer. See, they had been dealing with each other when he got there.
So that's been a minute.
Yeah, and with it I'm just reading the tea leaves. That's what I was saying when Trevor was dropping the links to the different podcasts I was reaching. Then the different sports people was talking. See, I like the ones who tell the truth. It was the one I can't think of my man now. I seen it because I've been on X. He said, "Let's just be honest." He said, like he hate the way they point the picture, like, "Oh, there'll never be another." It ain't no. Michigan didn't care about that. It was that it was the wins and losses.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah, because when you hear an alumni, you know what I'm saying? Now because they letting everything out. Now she's really playing the Karen role now. Of
course, because they're gonna always let a white girl do that.
Yeah, she playing the Karen role where she saying she broke it off on Monday. No, he fired you, and her daddy just happened to be the executive for the Chicago Bears, and the one that told her, because this is what people fail to realize. I don't care how much we want to sit up here and lie. Oh, the black and white. No, when they go and mess with somebody, like if a black person deal with a white person, as far as go look at all the men who deal with white women, they can go back to their families. I've been did wrong.
Yep.
And what would he done? I'm not saying he was right or wrong, but how she was able to go back and use her Karen role, and she got to keep her job.
Meanwhile,
and then she saw he was stalking me. He was doing this. Oh, when he let you go on Monday, but you went and lied to the athletic director. How do you get to keep your job? And that's where people, I think, I understand that Sharon, it wasn't about he didn't win with the talent that he had. So they wanted the way to get rid of him. They already knew what Sharon was doing. They said it was the worst kept secret in Ann Arbor.
But the other part about that is again, why do you have to do that? Why not just go get permission from your wife in order to be able to have somebody else?
If we don't know, because all we getting is hurt, from their point. We ain't heard Sharon, but you know how that's going because his wife is white. So from what I've been hearing, allegedly, I mean, just the different things I've been watching, she didn't divorce them, this and that. It's like
you don't get a divorce that quick, bro. Because if that's the case, then this ain't a scandal.
Right.
If we divorced, it ain't a scandal. You just wanted to try to find a way to get rid of them, and you did so.
Right. Right.
Okay. That's it. So if they're divorced, then it's not a scandal anyway.
No, she did. Just when this happened, she put in allegedly. That's what they were
put in divorce papers.
That's what they've been saying. You know, the little rumors and stuff been going out.
People crazy. Anyway. So what does that say? Be disciplined.
Yes.
If you're going to have somebody else in your life, make sure it's cool with the other person that you got in your life.
But I don't think he would have still won on that. Let's just say allegedly. Let's say his wife was with it, but it was still in the contract how they did it for the cause. because he was her boss, so she can go in there and say, well, I felt like I had to. You see the games that they playing
Oh,
all
they're
season.
going always.
Yes,
always.
but see to what it is, what people don't know, it was the donors who went and did it. When you got these big money people, they can come back. That's why that book Jordan Sheraton was so powerful.
Right.
My thing is, how much did she make for coming back telling the story?
Hey, listen. On that part, it's she always gonna make sure she have a spot.
Yeah, but how much did she make for her? First, you said it back in June, y'all wasn't doing nothing. No, it was a lot. Y'all was just business. Then you come back when the stuff getting out. Like I said, I can show you the podcast. Trevor dropped it in the link when we was hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, and then like I forgot what my man said. Adam Schaefer, what he said. He said Sharon said he felt like they was out to get him. That's when I wouldn't have been doing nothing.
Man, right? You shut it all down. Yeah, there's no way, because of the other hand, if she's pressing the issue, then your position should have been or could have been, hey, look, I'm straight. I don't know why this person's coming up on me.
Right, you supposed to let it go when you knew you was finna become the head coach. You put, but the thing is who he is. But listen, they marched this fool out here. I didn't know that when he said he didn't see color. Now you know the black podcasters did the thing on him, found out he not FBA. So I was there kind of, hold on. He ain't FBA. So no wonder when they threw him out there, said, I don't see color. Got it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel bad because I'm still looking like that's still a brother. But you know what I'm saying?
But if he was married to a person that wasn't part of his family, and then you mess around with somebody, then you a sellout.
Basically, that's what they was calling the brother. That's what they was calling the brother, saying, and I can understand why players like, man, they even had players was mad at him.
Right,
they happy that
lose almost everybody. Your quarterback getting ready to leave. You had a bunch of people that you was trying to sign ain't going nowhere.
I don't think the quarterback gonna leave because they gave you $3 million. I ain't walking away from $3 million because remember the other schools would be like, nah, we seen your year. We got to work with you with about $1 million.
Right.
You think I'm gonna leave 2 on the table?
No,
you never know when you'll get that 12 again.
That's true. But that's just once again, it comes to the discipline I was talking about earlier. I know people may not have liked the fact that I was talking about what I was talking about. And again, I understand that somehow you said there are some major assumptions. Okay, good. You're right. But if I'm listening to a conversation, whether I was involved in it or not, and then hear a rebuttal, that's not an assumption.
I knew where you was going with it. That's why I brought up the brother when you were saying that, because that's what discipline comes down to. Do you know they give me something for about $5. I'm gonna tell you, they could have signed 8-10 for $250,000. All of us shooting shows. Y'all better stop what y'all doing now.
Look,
you heard what I said.
Well, good morning, ABC.
Yeah, they gave us $1 million. and that's why I said that's why I put up $250,000. That ain't no money.
Right.
But what I'll be looking at, we can turn that $250 into probably a couple million. I'll be like, hey, look, what all y'all cut it out until we flip.
We had the cleanest show.
You better believe it. Yeah, it would be like that because I'll be nervous. I'll be like, man,
don't come here. Don't say nothing.
Don't even argue with them. We're going to do what I'll be like Denzel. You don't talk to me. You talk to Elliott.
That's right.
Elliott give it to Winter. She bring it back to me. See, I'll be doing protocols like that, man. Because anybody could mess it up. And you think listen, man.
No, we ain't messing no money.
No, you can't mess it because
we're trying to build some things right now.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm thankful that you allow the shows to be this way.
Yeah.
Because it is opening up whether people like it or not. I don't care whether you make the assumptions, people that do that, and we have people in our circle that do that. And then later on when they complain about their children, this is the reason why I don't really want to hear your complaints, because this is what you allow when they're younger. I'm not saying don't let them like nice things and don't have nice things. I'm not saying that for nobody. But at the same time, earn it. Know that the value is not in the thing, but the value is in the work that you put in to achieve and receive the thing.
Facts.
That's all I'm saying.
No, you have to, because you already coming behind the 8 ball when you coming into this thing.
Right.
You know
therefore, why not make sure that you have all that you need to have, that you just earn what you're supposed to. That's all I'm saying. Like, I can't see. I don't even see me buying my own self $1,500 pair of shoes.
Me neither. And I don't knock nobody to
No,
do it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can afford it without talking about, I can't pay this bill next week or this bill next week, or you got it stacked up like that, do your thing, beautiful. But also teach them the value that comes behind it. What's the value of the work that you put in? What's the value of the reason why I'm doing this for you? If you're not showing me any other thing on the other side of that, then that's kind of not really good parenting, because you're setting that child up for something. Well, the teacher don't like me. Don't nobody care.
Right. And thank you to beautiful Deborah Luna with my Sunday ties $5 super chat.
Appreciate it. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Is I'm giving my children all of these things, and then when a child comes back and tells me that a teacher I had a parent try to get at me one time earlier in the school year about my child told me somebody, you his teacher. First of all, I don't care. Your child in the 2nd grade. I ain't got to like your child. That's your job. And I told her that. My job is to teach. And if he can't learn, then the issue that I'm having with you is the fact that he don't know his numbers and colors and letters.
Right.
Don't come to me with nothing else until he know this. It ain't about not liking. It's about the fact that I'm going to be hard on him in order to learn these things, because you're not helping them learn them.
Right.
So don't say nothing to me about like. I love doing what I do, and I love children. That's irrelative. But what I'm saying to you is, don't come here asking me whether I like your child or not when you don't like your child. And it's obvious, because your child can't count. Your child don't know colors. Your child can't read basic letters. So that means you don't like your child. Don't come to me with that.
Right, because you're doing them disservice when
you're doing them a disservice, and then when they come out here, he's gonna fall further and further behind. And the older he gets, and he loves books. So what do I do every week? Here's a book. Bring it back the next time I see you. Guess what he does? He get a book, and you just the look on his face when I give him a book is absolutely beautiful. But can he read it? Take it home, read it to your mom, read it to your brother. The book come back to something, and that's okay. But it's trying to plant a seed.
Facts.
But don't come and attacking me about your child when I'm trying to do everything that I can to help.
Right.
But yet they come in the next day with the new, and I'm not do the thing, but do the other part too.
Nah, I get what you're saying.
And that's all I'm saying. Even with the conversation I heard yesterday, I don't care nothing about you doing all you do. That's your thing. Do it. But what are you instilling in that child at the same time?
Yeah.
And I might be assuming that they're doing nothing. But if I'm waiting for an answer and you're not giving one, then my assumptions are correct. Because your girlfriend asked you, what is the child doing to deserve this? And you didn't give a response. And I waited at 30 minutes with my brother, waiting on a response from this conversation.
That's diabolical, ain't it?
It's sad, because you're setting that child up for something that they can't handle. And then because they don't understand that somebody's going to tell you no, now what?
I mean, that's what we look at when you see people start hustling. Why do people hustle? Because they be poor. Some be poor and some be won't. Because everybody didn't grow up poor. Everybody that was hustling, I knew family wasn't poor. They was in General Motors. It's just that some parents was not at them time. The shoes was costing $100.
Right.
They was not just gonna pay that for that. And then you had some who would.
Right. And being one of those children that didn't, if I got shoes, I better earned it.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't care if you buy a PlayStation, but I don't care. It's not coming out of my pocket. Because if you ask me and we together, the answer is no. Because I need to see what they're doing in order to earn it.
Facts.
And if they're not doing anything, and I know people that, man, I spoil my kid. Cool. No problem.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But that's you and yours.
Yeah.
And don't think that if we kicking it, that I'm going to be the one that do the same thing. No, I'm not. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's you and the person that you was with to create them children. Y'all spoil them. That's not, nothing's coming out of my pocket.
No, that's why you supposed to be like, if you got to tell. That's why it's important. Education. Like when I was coming, everybody was always education and working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like now, everybody wasn't hustling back in the day.
No,
everybody hustling now. Everybody wasn't doing drugs. Everybody doing drugs now. You know what I'm saying? It was certain things. It was like you were kind of, And I think this is why society wanted it like this, though, because everybody, man, everybody didn't let everybody know they was getting high.
Man,
These new generations, they don't care. They'll pull their syrup right in front of you, blow that blunt in front of you. You know, you just have to respect. You'll be like, okay, that we'll go pull around the corner or go up to the park or we'll go here. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll be over here. You didn't just do like some of the disrespectful stuff you seeing now.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Even when you did see adults, even when you was cussing as a kid, younger.
Yeah,
You know, if you
chilled that
saw
out.
adults come, you would shut up. You would wait till they walk and go back.
No, not
Ain't
now.
none of
But
that
this
now.
is the, and you see this across the board where you have people that have a different level of you gotta earn my respect. You're a kid. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Somebody gotta earn your respect? That don't even make sense. How does that work? If I respect you as a human being, then you respect me the same. I don't have to earn anything from you.
Yeah, I don't. It's society, man. It's this society, man.
Right.
What didn't created down there.
It
A
created
dead
level
society.
right. It's created a level of insanity
Yeah.
and wantonness
Yeah.
that says it's okay. I'm not saying that Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes and Joe Paterno and Bear Bryant may not have dabbled, but you better not hear about it. You ain't gonna hear nothing about it, and you're gonna shut your mouth.
Yeah, but when you ain't got nobody going against you, see, that's the difference. When you got, like, see, Sharon had people like, to me, he thought he was OJ. He thought he was in because he got there the first black football coach fires in the 100 history of them been playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But people don't want to tell the truth, really, what it was. It was the ones who run it didn't want him in that seat.
But
and he wouldn't do, when he didn't win, like he produced it the year before.
Right.
Which he did win 9 games. That's what people not understanding, but it was the 3 games and how he lost.
But at the same time, for you to be a man of color in this country, to be dumb enough to say, I don't see color, you're a damn fool. So you set yourself up for that.
Then they knew it. They waited. Don't you know listen, brother, they put a flyer out back November 9th. Even I used to be on them in their chats. No, Sharon the man. Even I had to realize it, like his team. But I understand now why he couldn't focus, why he was, dude. I get it. He had pressure on him.
Yeah, but you have to. In this, I'm a African man in this country.
Yeah,
I'm very clear.
Yeah,
from the study of the history and how things are, that it would be foolish for me to say I don't see color.
But he didn't think that because he thought he was, he got to go to the parties, he got to hang out. He had been doing this, you know what I'm saying?
I went to U of M too. I went to Michigan State. The difference is I had a different worldview.
Fact.
So my worldview wasn't one that you're going to sit around here and I'm going over to these other people and sitting around with other people. I'm like, hey man, what's going on? How you doing? I do all of that, but I still know you.
But you know what I think his difference is, and that's why I do understand like what Tariq be saying, but I still look at it as big. And when me and Brother Roberts was talking, I don't think him being adapt into, because I think he from Trinidad or something, what he is, I don't think he really embraced the culture of what blacks really went through. He will understand that. And because if you see a lot of our foreigners, even look at what's my man name, Acho, Emmanuel Acho, look how he be talking. But if you go look, a lot of them send their kids to all white schools.
Yeah.
But majority, like when you be sending Trinidadians like them, they be sent. Sometimes they be going to all white schools. So who you think they be adapting more to?
That's very true. But the other part about that is you can't come from a country like Acho comes from Nigeria, I believe.
Yeah.
That you were ruled by the British. You were colonized by the British. Okay. In Trinidad, you had the Spanish and English and the Dutch who ran your country. So for you to sit there and say, I don't see color, that's only because you choose. And I know that there are many people who go from these countries and come over here
Mhm.
and they have a sport and they play a sport or whatever,
Mhm.
and they kind of lose their identity because they transform their sport legacy into something else,
Mhm.
right? And because that happens, then we turn around and we forget that the British did this to us, or in the
Mhm.
Congo, the Belgians did this to us, or
Mhm.
or this group did this to us, or the French did. The reason why they speak French in West Africa is because the France colonized them. And you think that they were very nice about colonizing them? No, they
No.
weren't.
Mm-mm.
The reason why, and I'm not knocking it, I'm just giving history. The reason why they Islamic is because the Muslims come in and did what they forced them to take Islam when they were doing something indigenous, right?
Right.
Same thing with the Christians. They didn't have missionaries to come in. The missionaries came in to see, they didn't come in to spread the word in the gospel. They came in to see, the mission was to see what groups of people were doing certain things, which ones did and grew animals, which ones grew plants, which ones did the iron, which ones did this. And those are the ones that they pulled out in order to build this country.
Oh yeah, when people be thinking they took like this. Listen, that's why I get so mad when I be here. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Well, we taught you how to read. Did you think we
No,
didn't
you
know how to
didn't. We
do?
knew how to read way before you
Yeah,
existed.
our people didn't know how to read before they came over here on these shores.
Yeah, please.
I mean, but this is the stuff like you have to go through. So even the history is a lie.
Right, because you're only going to tell it from your side.
Right, because if you go back and look, they're going to try to tell you George Washington never told a lie.
Yeah, but he also had slaves.
But they not gonna mention that.
No,
They
of
gonna
course
they ain't
not.
gonna they ain't gonna even mention all the way up to what was it? Which one they was saying? LBJ or was it Richard Nixon? I was used to. But see, they use racial language because that's how they was. I respect the ones back then compared to the ones now.
Right,
The ones now lie to you and call you a nigga behind your back.
right, all day.
You know
And
what I'm
shake your
saying?
hand and whisper it in
Yeah.
your ear.
Put laws on you.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad you walked us right into that.
Facts.
Okay. So now we had our public discourse.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hit the little bit of politics
Let's
because
go.
we know we're getting ready to come up to the political season.
Mm-hmm.
And we wonder the reason why people don't vote. Well, we have to go back to after Reconstruction, right? Because during all of those years, and I'm going to mention this multiple times, when the creation and the writing of the Constitution took place, there were two major groups in this country that were not part of the representation. There were the indigenous savages, which is in the original handwritten part of the Constitution.
That they keep forgetting it's not there no more.
Yeah, because now they put it in print. So since they put it in print, they took it out. And the other part were those considered to be 3/5 chattel slaves.
3/5.
Okay. And we have to remember, even though it's written in the document, Virginia is the only country that when they started the part, only state that when they started to talk about having representation, we're going to change and count the enslaved African people in order to get more representation in Congress and in the Senate so that they can continue to vote for the use of slavery.
There's a question for you, Brother Elliott. I said, do you know why they said 3/5?
Yes, I'm getting ready to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So as they adopted this document, part of what had to happen is in order to make sure that Virginia didn't overrun the Congress or the Senate with larger numbers in order to continue to keep slavery, they did the 3/5, called the 3/5 compromise rule. So instead of counting every person in the state of Virginia, because West Virginia and Virginia were at one time one state, West Virginia seceded from Virginia because it started to see the abject immorality and slavery. And that's the reason why West Virginia becomes what it becomes, and it becomes poor because they didn't support Virginia anymore. So the 3/5 compromise rule was, okay, since you want to now all of a sudden add all of these people in order for you to have the power in the Senate and in the Congress, what we're going to do is count those other people that are not white landowners or white women 3/5. And that was because of population control. Because at one particular point in time, your population is what determined who you could have to represent you in Congress and or in the Senate. So the rule was, if we counted persons as 3/5, then persons of color as 3/5 because they were owned. And you want to flip the switch and say, oh, well, we're saying that they're free so we can count them to get more representation. That's where the 3/5 compromise comes from. Okay, that's historical. That's where it comes from. Now, they treated you less than human. Anyway. So let's be clear about that. But the 3/5 compromise come because they didn't want to overload the Senate and or Congress with numbers so they could continue slavery because they wanted a balance. That don't mean they had slavery in the northern states.
Sure did. How you think you got sundown towns here? Don't come from people who didn't believe in it.
Right. And that's here in Michigan.
You
still don't go to Howell or Owasso or some other place that's too much late after dark.
Fuck around and find out.
Perry. And that ain't but 25 miles from here. Going east. No, west. I'm sorry. Going west.
Do they lock you up north?
If you go up north, you better make sure you have your friends with you.
I'm just so when you still think you can move and travel freely if you want.
Man, you are not traveling freely in this country. That's not happening.
Right.
Okay. So that's where your 3/5 compromise comes from. That's what that means. Okay. If I'm wrong, look it up. But I'm telling you that I'm giving you a short summary and synopsis of it. That's the 3/5 compromise. But let's talk about real quick for the next 20 minutes or so.
Let's roll it out.
The failures of political parties for African American people or Africans in America. Okay. We've always had a historic loyalty to one party, and that was typically the Democratic Party. Okay. Even though Lincoln was a Republican, and so was Frederick Douglass, Honorable Frederick Douglass, but both parties have shown disillusionment and mistrust. And they've never delivered anything meaningful to African people. They try and say so. The only thing they've delivered to us is tokenism.
Facts.
Okay. That's the only thing they've ever delivered is tokenism. Okay. After Reconstruction, both parties abandoned African people. Democrats upheld Jim Crow.
Facts.
And Republicans shifted away from any civil rights advocacy and said, hey, you on your own.
You got to hold them.
And we don't hold them accountable. So I'm telling y'all this because we got election season coming up pretty soon.
On the horizon.
Okay. And politicians are going to come into the places of worship and start to beg you to support them. And so it's your minister, pastor is going to say, we bringing them in here. And if you don't ask the hard questions, or you're not allowed to ask questions, get out of that place because there's no longer a separation of church and state.
Facts. And that'll probably let you know your pastor's not believing in God.
Oh man, he don't believe in none of that. He believe in them dollars.
And do.
Okay. Now, for the Democrats, and I know my brother's Democrat.
Come on with it. Let's don't tell the truth on them. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Okay. Black people have supported the Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party has never, ever given any transformative policies that change anything. Even tokenism. And meanwhile, the Republicans don't even count black votes. So all these black people out here talking about they're Republicans, they really don't care nothing about you.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Why you think they say, what do you got when Trump came in? What do you got to lose?
But he don't care.
Medicaid.
The only thing that you did was you helped put him in office thinking that you were going to get a handout or a position, and he showed you that you got neither.
Right. Ask the Latinos. Look at the Haitians.
Right.
Getting you out of here now.
People sitting around here talking about we voting for him because they see an opportunity to make money. And what ends up happening is you don't even get the opportunity to do that.
Look how look what he doing in the Middle East.
But man.
They found out he wasn't a good person either.
Right.
The Arab Americans. They found out, they thought, oh, Trump, he business.
Right. Strictly business and the business of doing you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what has also happened with us, we've gotten all these symbolic wins, but we've lost materially. We've lost educationally.
Yep.
We've lost material. We've lost jobs. Look at what they're doing. Oh, now all of a sudden we're firing all these black women.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Miss Joy Reid turned her position into someone of success. Now she's a real political pundit.
Right.
Right? Cool. Beautiful. Not everybody else has done that.
But she cried, though, when they let her go.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was hurt.
Yeah, because she thought they had a position.
Yeah.
We have to stop thinking that in this country, in this society, in this space, that we have the opportunity to think that we're going to level the playing field. Number one, we have to level the playing field with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's another strategy. Let's finish this first. We'll deal with strategies later. Nothing has really progressed in the cities, in the communities. We're still facing poverty, housing underfundment, and horrible schools. Okay, let alone water, air. You know, most of these new homes may be built over toxic waste sites. Who knows? Look at New York and the Love Canal. Okay, and the alignment of these political ideologies has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in the communities in which we live. Again, nothing about the needs of our community, only about, well, we're going to talk about the climate, and we're going to talk about immigration. Meanwhile, we got people dying in our communities, people shooting us in our communities, no money in our communities. If there's money, it's just misorganized. It's unorganized. Horrible education, and we don't have any police reform. But those are some issues that we need to talk about, and we need to make sure that we bring it up front to these politicians that they come in. That's my line of questioning. And also, we need to be able to hold whomever. If Pastor Mickey Jordan is bringing in Representative Jumo Clark, guess what? I'm asking the brother question. Don't tell me don't hold no questions. We're going to be real clear. Either that or we're not showing up. If we can't hold, now I'm going to tell everybody in the congregation, they're going to bring these people in here. You ain't going to hear no word. You hear a bunch of lies. So they're not going to let nobody come in and ask these people questions. I have questions. And if they don't let me speak, then I'm disrupting everything. I don't care. Put me out. But you ain't holding me up for $2,000 before I get out the door. That's what you're not going to do. I missed the joke. Y'all know y'all got that joke.
Nah, I'm with you. She Tara Wren said that I can agree with. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I just think we just hope with this political season, I hope people be paying attention, Because I hope people paid attention what happened the other day. Did you see 8.3 million being cut out the budget?
Right.
Courtesy of your governor, courtesy of your mayor, courtesy of your state rep. And now I seen her in the news. She finally said something. But your husband was running around here along with the mayor, a governor, saying that the water was good.
Man, that water ain't good.
Yeah.
The levels of certain substances are going up.
Yeah.
And we're not paying attention to it because we're not doing an in-depth study of certain things the way we should.
Facts.
Okay.
But this poor leadership though.
But see, that's what we've been talking about is leadership should lead. We can go back and talk about the late Marion Barry all we want to. Mm-hmm. But what he did do was make sure he put certain things in place.
Facts.
He did make sure that no matter what and how they called him up on a scandal after scandal, whatever, that he made sure minority contracts got done. I ain't seen no minority company yet around here.
But who should we blame for introducing crack into the American society?
Of course.
You know, we can look at the people, but why not blame who brought it through here?
Right.
Because what we're going to call that for national security, we needed to strung out a certain population of our citizens, including blacks.
Right. Hoover's ideology it still exists.
Yeah.
Hoover ideology is still that we will not have the rise of a black messiah.
Right, and that ideology not going nowhere. That's like with the police. Why you think we can probably be in 2050? You're gonna still see police gonna be killing niggas. Yeah. They're gonna because it ain't see the thing is, in my humble opinion, you have to destroy the mind state that produced America. And that was produced through racism.
Right.
You got to look at the mind state. See, we be looking, because George Washington, I'm not here. Abraham Lincoln, I'm not here. But the agenda that they put down is still living on to today.
Yeah, well, that's where we even started having this organization. I mean, the program, because we're talking about how we got where we are.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about how we got where we are, then even the conversation that I was talking about yesterday is part of how we got where we are. Yeah. I don't know, that may not be somebody's cup of tea. That's fine. That's okay. But you better understand you part of the tea whether you want to be or not.
Facts. Yeah, but they treat this because you figure, I can move out in Grand Blanc.
That don't mean nothing.
But they're only gonna let a handful of y'all.
Right. And not only that, it doesn't matter where you move at. Yeah. The policy is still the same.
Ain't nothing changing.
The policy is still the same. The very same thing. I'm gonna move out to Grand Blanc. Okay, well, I know somebody that made the move, but they son ain't playing basketball like they think they should.
And I saw that. I don't work.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, okay. I'm looking with B. Marisa. I just bought the ebook When Crack Was King, a New York Times bestseller. Yep. And that's diabolical. But one of your presidents who they want to praise, Ronald Reagan. But where did Ronald Reagan make his announcement that he was running for president?
In Mississippi.
Woo, Mississippi burning. People forgot about that, didn't they? He announced it. He let you know. So that's why when people be trying to act like, no, racism, the people Trump, they're not bad. No, they're not bad because maybe your ideology roll in with theirs. I get it. Listen, man, I get it. We saw the book, what maybe a lot of people did, when it was Pat Buchanan. I'm gonna keep bringing it up, called Death to the West. Yep. You know what he was mad about? And it was a lot of people who think like him, that America was going to be the browning of America. Yeah. That's why you see when Trump coming back saying this, when you go look in the black community, the pro-black community, and see where you going to see abortion clinics there. Why they got abortion clinics there?
Right.
But when you go to the suburbs or in the white area, why they got fertility clinics there?
Well, look at how many liquor stores we have between Lippincott and Center Road, on Lippincott, between Center and Door Highway, and you look on Miller Road and you only see one.
Yeah, but see, we can't have them conversations because they don't want to talk about that.
Oh, well, we having them conversations regardless. Because we know that that's suicide.
Yeah.
Genocide.
They know what it is. If you go look at the birth, the death, listen, you got to remember how many that they brought over here. They never thought that it would be 14. I mean, we'd be 14% of the population.
No, they've been trying to get rid of us after we freed ourselves.
Right.
So let me be clear. Lincoln didn't free nobody. We did this ourselves.
Right.
We done fought in every war from the American Revolution up until now.
And still got
and
dogged out.
still got dogged out. I won't go to the Capitol Theater today because the way that they treated my father back in 1946. I wasn't born,
Right.
but he told me the stories, and that's more than enough.
But that's what the problem is. See, we didn't forgot the stories on how blacks got did.
Well, that's because we told people that listen, I'm gonna say this again, baby. If you want to buy your child shoes and that beautiful, but understand that sometime along in there, you also have to teach them this other part that you're gonna run across somebody that's gonna scuff your shoes. You're gonna run across somebody that's on purpose because of jealousy and envy, knock over your PlayStation and bust it up. At what point in time you can't come crying to me because I bought you the shoes? I'm also going to teach you how to take care of them as well.
Yeah,
I'm never saying, man, you went and bought your daughter Benz. Fine, beautiful. Now, who got to put maintenance on it? Who got to put the gas in the car? Who got to pay the insurance? Who got to keep the maintenance up on it? That's your job. I just bought it for you. If you can't do it, it's going to sit right there.
Them rules you have to give them, but
and this is all I'm saying.
For when you're not there, you got to give your kids
right, because
the
eventually
tools.
There's go ahead, finish, brother.
No, you got to give them the tools to survive.
And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, when they not here,
when you're not around me, I'm not I can't tell you.
Because will probably be parents' greatest thing. Not just they scared of death. Is that who you leave your kids around?
Yeah,
because when you here, you got to make sure. Because listen, them people not gonna treat you right.
No, because they hanging with you because you got the shoes, because you got the PlayStation, because you got certain things, not because of you. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the woman shouldn't do what you want to do for your child. That's your choice. Now you paying somebody else and you putting some money in somebody else's college tuition. Cool, that's your choice.
Thanks for tapping in, puppet face. It's my bad, bro.
No, you good. Oh man, you chilling in Chicago for real. You bad as Salty Chef in Thailand / Saskatchewan.
For sure.
But and that's my point. It wasn't just you a mom and you doing what you want to do and it don't matter. But what are you having your child earn and what are you having your child learn? And we have to because we're all guilty of spoiling our children.
Even me. What was that book called? Why you think our scholars had to write a book, The Re-Education of the American Negro? Why is that?
Right. Because what we wanted to do was run and do the thing that some other cultures doing instead of running to what some other society, instead of running to what our society needs.
Right. I mean, but we already fickle. People don't see it. I remember me and Reverend Thrill because I always mess with him because I know his history. He knows his history of Flint. But when I was telling him, when I'm like, our names came from where the plantation we came from.
My last name's McCants. My great-grandfather was a full-blooded Blackfoot Indian. McCants is Scottish. I'm still trying to understand that.
Right, but that's
like, who did you marry and took their name on to give me this last name?
So how can you be a people and you saying you free? Because just think about it. When you see a Korean man come over, his name James Jordan, you're going to be like, a Korean dude?
Because you know why? People couldn't say their names.
Facts.
And so what they do is they adopt other names.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, my name is this is how you're going to learn how to say it.
Yeah.
My name is Tron or whatever.
Right.
And you're going to learn how to say it. But I'm not going to turn it to Young to make you feel comfortable.
And that's what it is. Like, when you go look at the root story, when he was like, no, your name, when he was telling my name, Kunta, no, Toby.
Right.
See, people don't understand.
But see, we're the only ones that went through that. Other people have chosen to do that.
Yeah.
So Tron has chosen to change his name to Young, but guess what he speak at home? He speak Korean. You don't change that. Guess what foods he eat? He's foods, even though he may make adaptations, but they got a Korean market on Corona Road.
And have you seen them try to go and destroy Korean Town?
Nope.
Have you seen them go down and destroy Hamtramck?
Nope.
But they damn sure gonna go destroy when you build something for the African American here. Like, we can go to Wall Street, we can go to Rosewood, we can go to Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem.
And see, there was talk in Detroit about starting a little place called Africa Town.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know how they quickly the political scene quickly destroyed that idea?
And that was under Kwame was talking about that. Kwame Kilpatrick, the former mayor. But look how the Negroes say Kwame was the worst. They sit up here and think Kwame was worse. But what about your white mayors?
Man, okay. Well, let's get back into this before we.
This is what we mess up at. We don't never look at the white mayors, but we'll call our own out, and we can't see what they did.
We are our own worst enemy because they done learn. What did Willie Lynch say? If you turn them against each other, tall against the short, light against the dark, curly hair against straight hair, then what you do for you convince them. You convince them to destroy their own. Even Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who wrote The Miseducation of the Negro, said that if you tell a Negro to go to the back of the house, he will build a door, will cut a hole in the building, build a door, and wait for permission to get in when he has the tools, knowledge in order, and he has the doorknob in order to open the door and walk in, but he will wait for permission to get in. We're still waiting for permission.
Facts.
We're still waiting for permission. So back to this little political thing on economic outcomes, right? The Democratic administrations, we've always gotten little modest gains, but having systematic disparities. So the system, we're gonna make you a mayor. We're gonna make you, you're gonna be but guess what? You ain't there to make no changes because you're part of the system.
Facts.
Okay. But under Republican leadership, Black cities have suffered more and have more political setbacks because what they do? You just said they made $8.3 million cutback.
Yeah, but your Democratic mayor and your Democratic governor said the water was fixed. So why are we gonna keep throwing money at the water fixed?
The water ain't fixed. We clear about that. They know the water's not.
And that's
fixed.
what I know. But they doing with we're gonna put it on y'all. To me, it's like they using Flint as a political what's the name now. So what you gonna get? What they're gonna force the people to vote for Republican governor for he can do the same thing because it was Republican governor what the crisis started upon.
Right. Yeah, and the crisis was going on a year before he even said anything.
Facts. And you got to remember, Dan Whaling was the mayor at that time.
Yeah.
He's still moving around here like everything's sweet. Yep. He didn't get in trouble or nothing. He still got to make money.
But Darnell Early.
Well, that's a different story.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because he thought he was one of the good old boys.
Yeah, he was a good old boy. He was a good old scapegoat.
Yeah, and that's what they use us as their scapegoat.
And this is the thing. If you think that you're getting ready to make these power moves, you're not. You're not going to make any power moves. You're not going to. Because you have to understand, if you make a move, they got a counter move.
Facts. Why you think we were not here? They put Neely in because they knew one thing. He was going to go along with the get along.
Right.
Did he not say he'd been running around? It was the most tested water, this and that. You had Gretchen Whitmer, the governor, going on the Breakfast Club saying the water is fixed.
She didn't come on this club, though.
Nah, because she'd have got called out. Just think about when we had Kristen Rivet when we was at the library Saturday.
Right.
How did that look? Look how she came down there. Right.
And then I asked a question, and she was like, "Yeah, I agree. No, that ain't no.
Right.
No, I don't need you to agree. What are you gonna do? I don't even know who the lady was, so that was on me. That's
how she get elected, though. That's the thing. Well, I'm just saying, what did she get elected on? Who is she fighting for? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, that's the reason why I'm telling you, I didn't know who she was. Right. I just look better than Kildy. Like, what that got to do when people up here bathing in poison water? Like, you really can tell jokes at times like this?
But that's how they think of stuff. Well, but you know what? Also, in order to break the ice, you got to kind of sort of sometimes do that. But I'm sorry. I'm not interested in you telling jokes and breaking ice when I would rather take snow from outside and melt it down and use it to bathe in and can, purify it to drink than water coming out of my faucet when you can still smell stuff.
And that's what I'm saying. And it's like, and then when you want to come out, because the checks is coming. You see how the checks coming. $1,000 check.
Yeah, what's that gonna do? You know what people gonna do? That's just how I'm gonna get my Christmas gifts for my children. Or whatever.
That's what they sent it out for. You can buy the kids and come next year.
Turn around, put that money right back in to the economy, boost the economy for somebody else. Right. Meanwhile, next year you get nothing.
Right. And then it's over. Well, you took the money. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't make nobody whole. And only 26,000 applicants got pushed through.
I mean, and that's the reason why I asked what I asked about the residents who've been here the longest, why in the world did somebody have if I wanted something from the pool, I shouldn't have to apply for it. You know through census that this house has been here and has been occupied all of this time.
Mm-hmm. They don't care.
Right. So somebody got to go apply and set a claim for what? Nothing. And what is that $1,000 really going to do? Or $1,500?
Remember, the IRS coming to get their part of it.
They got to get their part of it too. So you turn around and double tax the money, triple tax the money,
and made them wait for 11 years.
And made them wait all of this time to get nothing. And people think they're really going to get something. That's where we're politically ignorant, but it's done on purpose because the design of
What's up, Book of Revelation?
What was that?
No, I was just saying Book of Revelation. Okay. Tell them good morning.
Good morning. The design of the system has never been about the persons that you've outlined in the first place.
Right.
You've outlined the Native Americans who've been here for thousands of years, and you're going to go from you decimate their population, and they go from 100 million people to 50,000, and you give them reservations, and you give them casinos that they can't control.
Then you even separate that. You even go by color in that situation.
Right,
what about the black Indians?
The black Indians don't get nothing because you can't prove that you are Indian. Even though it's very clear that you Cherokee or you Choctaw or you Chippewa or whatever, but yet we not giving you nothing.
But you can have, what's the lady that was in Congress that Trump called Pocahontas, said she was an Indian.
Right.
Like, y'all see, but you know what? In their world, that's like Rachel Dolezal. She thought she was black.
Man,
in
how the hell
world, they could get only in their world they could do what they want to do.
They can do whatever they want. She put braids in her hair, and you clowns elected her as president of NAACP, and you couldn't tell that she wasn't a white woman.
You know,
nothing about her black.
You don't think none of them was getting paid off, man? Like certain stuff they was making money. Just look at they just had the BLM. What they just showed the lady. See how they want to put that out?
Right. Yeah.
She was stealing money. Just look how they just had to come back on Antifa. What is it? Antifa?
Yeah.
They got to take back. They saying they wasn't a terrorist organization. But you know who they don't want to put up there as terrorist organizations?
The Klan.
Facts. People that look like non-melanated. They never wanted. They never wanted.
That's not a terrorist organization. It's been operating for over 150 years. Murdering people, lynching people, killing people and all this other stuff, but you want to say that they're okay.
But just think about the Emmett Till. But how that brother got deal. But see, this is why we see no different now. We see people getting off when it comes to killing us.
But see, this has always been a thing. So when you had these lynch mobs lynching these 5,000 people, and most of them were business owners and educators to some degree, it was okay for them, and it's okay for them that now. Those families should be the one that pay reparations to, right? Because you took livelihoods away on purpose, and those persons who were involved, their families should be prosecuted.
Facts. Now I'm looking at what you saying, B. Marie said, well, think about the mindset of the people in Flint. First Ward was given 30,000, but the community group was happy because Leon gave them 2,000 for cleanup. What happened to the remaining 28,000?
Oh man, what you mean? What happened? I'm on vacation.
Right, but that's why
my stuff.
But that's why when you see people that voted for these crooks that's in there and they get mad, then they want to look back. So you let a crook tell you to vote for crooks, and you know what's finna happen? Oh, you finna see all these people. We're gonna be at them spots, brother.
Well, I'm with you, bro. So y'all gotta let us know where these meetings come.
Let us know.
Please do, so we can be there and we can ask the hard questions. Because trust me, the research I've been doing on politics, more and more. Stop. I already see you smiling over there.
No, I ain't gonna say nothing. No, because I know.
You ain't gotta say nothing.
Because I know you gonna ask the questions when we up there. See, that's why I'm laughing. I'm like, I can't wait till y'all tell. Because I can't wait to go back to another one of them meetings on. I think it's gonna be in January. It's every first. So. It's gonna be. I'll be there the first Saturday in January. I'll be at the library 9 o'clock. Yep. Because I want to see this
master plan.
Yeah.
And once again, Trevor, thank you for sending me the charter. I have yet to do it. We'll be on break next week. So I'll be able to read through it, and then, baby, Once you see some other loopholes, we in there.
Yeah, we might have to do I'm gonna really make it a members only, and when you go through the charter for because did you? And I'm not trying to, because I know we got to get off. But did you see the incident with the councilwoman in the second ward talking about what happened over at the school board at the Southwestern school?
I saw they had a fight over there.
Yeah, and she called herself gonna write an ordinance come Monday.
How? You don't have the right to do that.
She don't know that, but this is when you're doing it. But these are people that the mayor went and got. He didn't elect people who could think.
But how in the world do you think you can write an ordinance for something you don't run?
She don't know no better, because this the same woman was so crazy when she cussed Maurice Davis out in the school. She should have been banned from the school. But they don't put that out there. This is why I say the superintendent was weak. The school board was weak. They were scared to put her out of there because they cool with Liddell. That's what they not telling you. They cool. She should have been banned, but that's probably from what I was saying. Allegedly, the superintendent, that's his friend. Allegedly, I could be wrong. I'm just telling you the stuff that we was hearing. She should have been banned, but when you do stuff, and then how you expect the kids to gonna respect them when they seeing the little BS games that's going on?
Yeah, because kids pick up on your BS in a minute. Man, and one thing I love about being able to do what I'm doing with the young people that I'm doing it with is because I've always been a very open, genuine person about doing what I do. Like, I'll get the chance to listen to stuff from years later that young people come back and say he was this or that. And there's some that's gonna say he wasn't shit. I get that because you didn't get your way. You didn't get your way. You didn't get to do whatever you wanted to do. But eventually somebody gonna tell you no.
Facts.
And on that note, family,
as you can tell,
I love y'all. We appreciate you. Happy rest of the Sunday. Stay warm out there. Peace.
Peace.